What is happening, everyone? Mystic Fluffy here. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing well wherever you guys are watching. So PSA has just recently announced something huge. They have actually decided to halt submissions of grading cards. So this is just temporarily, but we'll see more on what this actually means because it affects a lot of people out there, whether it's collectors, investors. And it's not just the Pokemon community, it's like sports cards are being affected, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Digimon, Dragon Ball. So a lot of people are affected, and it's not just Pokemon community. But let's just dive into the article and just briefly skim through it. Alrighty guys, so here's the article that PSA has just recently written up for the entire community. So basically, in a nutshell, they are introduced that they doubled their prices with their pricing of card submissions of different tiers. And they said in the last 3 days or so, they've gotten more orders than compared to 3 months ago. So in 3 days, they got more than what they had in about 3 months, which is pretty insane considering ever since the Logan Paul box break, everything's changed a bit, but it doesn't matter too much because at least a good thing is that there's a huge backlog with orders with PSA. So I know that I submitted my cards last year and then I'm expecting them to come back a year from when I submitted them. So we're looking still at around end of the year, which is a very long way. And can you actually wait for that long to get your cards back? So this is where PSA stands, because I guess they've realized that they have actually kept a lot of people waiting, and a lot of people submit on the cheaper tier service. But so that's being removed. So it says here, where I find it. Effective immediately, PSA is temporarily suspending our value, regular and express service levels. This will allow us to fully unbox and receive the recent surge of orders and focus on our most impacted service lines. We will take a tiered approach to reintroducing these service levels. Our goal is to bring all suspended service levels back by July 1st, 2021. So although they're stopping this, so they have up until, they're claiming to be up and running back to the usual service back in July on the 1st of July. So it still gives us a few months break, which is good. So it gives time for PSA to catch up on the time they've missed out, and then the backlog of the amount of cards people are waiting on, because people have been waiting for ages, even before the pandemic, people were waiting 8 months prior to that. So that's still a long wait. I mean, no one wants to wait that long, 8 months. That's almost a whole year gone just like that. And so it says that PSA's growth planning and capacity expansion remains in full effect. We recently added an additional 58,000 square feet to our California operation on top of the 62,500 square feet we added a few months ago, furthering our ability to hire and process orders. A successful virtual career fair on March 16 added many fresh candidates. Today we stand 783 people strong and are growing daily, compared to 421 employees at Collectors University in January 2020. So this is going to be pretty big for us, because at least now that PSA has kind of got their act together, that means that they will be able to return the cards that have been backlogged for so long. So they're putting more attention to that, and so they're cutting off the different. So what are the differences? They said. So there's value, regular, express. Let me just find this for you guys. Yep. So here we are. So we got the value card. So this, if your card's under $500 or under $499, then that's how much you pay. If it's under 500, it's economy, so maximum declared, yeah. So this is whatever amount, so there's minimum 10 cards, and this is, I think, whatever. Then you have regular, so that's up to almost $1,000. You have express, so these services have been suspended, which is the value economy. Regular and express, so you're only allowed Super Express at the moment, which is the very high-end cards. So So that means there's not as many people will submit on that level, but surely there'll be some, but not a lot. So during the break of PSA halting card submissions, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like if you submit it now, I mean, is it still going to take long as well? But it probably will. And so this gives opportunities to like other grading services such as BGS, but although BGS is taking a long time, probably at least PSA gives you like an update, like a tracking of where things are, while BGS doesn't really have those kind of services, which is disappointing. So the other high-end or the other reputable grading service is also CGC. So CGC, a new company, and they've entered the market as of last year, and people actually have a liking to them, although they've only been out here for about a year or so. They do offer subgrades. You can opt to have it or not have the subgrades, but the subgrades do add an extra nice touch to the overall value of the card, or overall look of the card. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. Now that PSA is on hiatus for a small period of time, so will CGC take advantage of that? I feel like they might actually decrease their prices so that when they decrease their prices, it gives a more affordability for other people who are in the trading card game hobby to take up on their the offerings that CGC has. So while they do that, they'll build that customer bases, and then the word of mouth, and because if you're able to get your cards within 3 or 4 months rather than 8 months, and a lot of people will choose the earlier time frame to, whether it's flipping or whether it's holding on to. Either way, people are in the hobby and then they want either that. So that's the service that CGC has that outweighs PSA. So, and the thing is that although PSA will be missing in action for a bit, CGC will most likely be over flooded with a lot of people submitting cards, because you gotta realize it's not just Pokemon, there's like Yu-Gi-Oh, there's sports cards, sports cards, there's comics as well. So there's a lot of that they gotta consider as well. And yeah, but BGS, I don't know what's gonna happen to them. So there we have it, guys. So PSA have just announced their halt on submitting cards, so that's pretty big news, considering that what they said like in 3 days they had more cards submitted in 3 days than 3 months that occurred 3 months ago. So that's really big, and then they're getting like thousands a week, so it's pretty hard to handle that. And then plus they're expanding, but it'll be interesting to see if CGC does capitalize on this and where it takes it, whether they do offer something cheaper or not, or whether they can do the returns quicker. But I've noticed that CGC is pushing their return in a bit later, so it was 3 months, now it's like 4 months, now it's up to 6 months for your return. So, but that's that. So there we have it, guys. So if you can, let me know in the comments below, guys, of what you think of this huge announcement that PSA have just mentioned. Has this affected you, or it has affected me in some sense, because I was actually going to do a submission to PSA. But now that's a bit out of the window. Should I just hold on to it? So I might just hold on, or maybe I'll just submit it to CGC, see how it kind of plays out. But anyways, guys, that's my time. As always, keep safe, stay out of trouble, and I'll see you on the next one.